Okay, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. It's Sunday morning. We had a family Christmas gathering last night. So good to get drawn back into family stuff because I don't get to see the extended family that often, and it's always a joy. So I was going to touch up on the video I did yesterday, and I wasn't trying to offend anybody or nothing. I had a couple guys come in the comments say I was hating on somebody, and I don't even know, they must not have watched the video. It's just saying that a shop does not create billable hours. And I mean, I can't dispute that. It doesn't create billable hours. Now, but that's true. I will concede to that. My house does not create billable hours. So, I mean, at some point you have to look at what you're trying to do and make sure that you don't do anything, buying land, a shop, a house, whatever, and there not be some payoff at some point. Now, I see where he's coming from as far as, creating an exit plan, and I love the forum that we've created here with this particular topic, and nobody's offended. I'm not offended. I don't have time to be offended, and he was not offended either, because I think he knows my demeanor, if that makes sense. So that's kind of where I've been coming from on that topic. But to go a little further, as he was asking me in his comment on my video, wanted me to try to go into a little more depth. And I know yesterday the video was a little bit of a rant. It was so long, and I didn't take no time to do a whole lot of editing on it. I had family coming, blah blah. So I jotted down a couple of things that I think are important, and this is all for educational purposes, and I have a disclaimer. So I love it when guys comment and they have something sensible to say, but don't comment if you don't watch the video. Don't comment hate just because you don't like me, because it's really, well, it just shows how closed-minded some people are. This is just for entertainment, educational purposes, and I repeat, I am not a business guru, business major, a business nothing. Out here trying to make a living. That's what I am. So note that before you make a comment talking about I'm trying to tell somebody how to run their business, or trying to tell somebody I'm not qualified to say this and I'm not qualified to say that. When you create a YouTube channel like I have, and you do videos like I do, it's a lot of hard work and there's a lot of dedication and stuff to be able to do the YouTube stuff regular like I do. And there's always the option that a lot of people don't even look at. You don't have to watch the videos. I mean, nobody's paying nobody. Nobody's paying me. I'm not making no money on no YouTube videos. So, I don't think anything that I really say is that outlandish, but, some people are a little more, yeah. But I wanted to kind of point out some of the things that I think with my shop, and I can't, I'm not speaking for anyone or not telling anybody what to do. This is just general information. That's what it is. Take it or not. It's just information that applies to me, and it does apply to me. And these are some of the things that I think about the shop and building a shop or whatever? Well, number one, you got to look at one of the number one things. There's a bunch of them. Number one, you got to look at what's the shop going to cost you. Now, if you're building a freaking $300,000, you know, barnuminium or barnuminium, whatever they call them, and you know, you're dumping your whole life savings, everything that you got, everything that you can get into it, then, you know, this probably does not apply to you. You know, in Chad's case, you know, I'm assuming that he can't build a shop at his house for whatever reasons. Now, like I told you guys yesterday, my shop did not take an incredible amount of money and resources to build. Number one on that is I did all the grading for the concrete. You know, I had a machine there, and so I'm saving money every which way. Not that it still wasn't expensive, but at the end of the day, we in about $45,000 in my shop, and it's on my property. So I didn't have to go buy land. I didn't have to go get land zoned or any of the things that can come up when people are wanting to, you know, build a building like that. And of course, my building's not a commercial site either. It's not a huge structure either. You know, it's big enough for exactly, you know, it's big enough for what I need for it to be, and my building is permitted and everything. There's nothing illegal or anything about my building. Everything is permitted. So yeah, my taxes went up quite a bit this year too, and last year, because of the building. So it's all above board and legit. It's been scrutinized by the county and everything. So at each stage of the build there. So I want to put that out there up front. And there's been innuendo in the comments that I just threw a building up and it wasn't legal for me to do that. And it was legal. I got the documentation to prove it, and I also got the tax bill. So just throwing that out there, y'all. But it does not actually earn me money, cash money. But for me, and I'm, you know, again, let's umbrella this whole video, no matter what I'm saying, I'm applying it to me, okay? I'm not telling anybody else what to do, how to do it, when to do it, where to do it, and all that. I'm talking about me. And sometimes when I'm in the course of thinking and talking to the camera, I don't want to say that in front of every sentence, okay? And I got a disclaimer. There's the disclaimer one more time. So all the guys with all the negative stuff, you know, that, I mean, I don't even mind people being negative. But don't say I said something and then when I really didn't. One guy come in the comments, and we're going to get on this, but one guy come in the comments talking about, well, you said you wasn't growing no more. And I never said that. If I have labor, I think I've always said and always will say, if I get the right labor out here, I will grow, I'll buy more equipment, build another building, whatever I need to do, buy land, buy space, whatever I need to do to, you know, move forward. Of course, I'm not trying to grow in December. You know, I don't have any labor as it is. It'd be just about impossible. That's ridiculous, man. So, I mean, I do question myself sometimes because of my labor problems about growing the lawn maintenance side anymore until, if ever, I have the proper help. If I don't ever have the proper help, then I'm perfectly fine with the money that I'm making right now in the lawn maintenance. But if I get a good guy that can actually do the work and not lie about everything and know more than what, y'all, well, I ain't got to explain all that. Y'all see that stuff. Then I'm open to making money. Or I'm not a business major. I am what you see on video. I am, I was thrown into this game because I was trying to survive. There was no plan. It was just, man, I got to pay my bills. But back to the shop thing. So even though the shop does not create billable hours and doesn't really generate actual money, like I was saying, well, I just jotted down a few. One thing it does, is it makes you more organized. Y'all see in my shop, and maybe I'll walk through the shop. Y'all see in my shop that I have all the tools, the hand tools. I'm not talking about the weed eaters and blowers and stuff. I'm talking about the tools that I use to fix stuff. Wrenches and sockets and, drills and, impacts and, just, 20 years of tool collecting. Now, if I'm still in my garage, those tools are not even out for me to be able to use because there's not enough space. So that would be, when you look in the shop, and I'm not talking about billable hours. We're not talking about the shop making me money. That's not what we're talking about. Because at the end of the day, the guy is right. I mean, I can't say he's not, because my shop and what I built it for is not actually creating billable hours. But there's so many other benefits that can actually affect the bottom line, right? In the business that you wouldn't be able to do without the shop. So the number one thing, and I'm up here waiting on the people to bring me the groceries. So one thing that it does is you're better organized, right? And that's a big one. That's a big one, because that affects your efficiency. And you could do a quick Google search on the benefits of a shop for your landscaping business, and it will tell you, some of these things. It's a dedicated space for the business. So everything has a place it goes. When I was in my garage, it was impossible. There wasn't enough space to put everything. Simply not enough space. So does that create dollars? Does that create billable hours? No, it doesn't. No more than this jacket does, right? Everything that we spend our money on in the business does not create billable hours, but it can create, time saved and ease of life, if you will, making your life easier, and that is, to me, very important at my age right now. Making my life easier is the reason why I keep buying equipment. So Making my life easier is one of the reasons why I bought the shop. And the main reason is, well, you could look at it all under that one umbrella, making my life easier in my business, and then the shop is right there. Because if my life is easier, then I feel like doing more. If I feel like doing more, then I make more money. So the shop technically is not creating that money, but the atmosphere it puts me in is a lot easier to work in than my garage. Not mandatory, but for me it was very, very, very inconvenient having all my equipment in my garage. Okay, so it protects the equipment from the elements. Now, I don't know what you guys do. You probably don't need a shop like mine. Not that mine's big, little, or good or bad or whatever. You probably don't need a shop as nice as mine, I will say. But I like nice shit. So what can I say? I mean, yeah. And there's really no justification. I can't put my finger on how having a nice shop is going to make me billable hours. I can't say it does, if I'm being honest, and I'm always that, even when I look in the mirror. So it is organized, or you're much more organized, which makes you more efficient. That's one of the big ones. And you can do projects in the shop and it not be a project that needs to be done that day. And I can do projects for my house. I can do anything. Not to mention, at the end, it increased my property value over $80,000, and I only spent 45 or so. Now, we know that that's only going to go up with time, and also if I ever sell the house, and you never know. I may not, but I've got the shop built in a way to where it can really. Damn. I'm sorry, y'all. I got all these moving things around me, man. People backing up, getting real close to me. Guys, convenience is a big one. Having a shop like that right at my house, not costing me, having to buy land and zoning and all that. That's a huge benefit for me. Like for Chad, for instance, how a shop could help him. He could buy it benefit. It's a lot of ways that benefit. You can buy things in bulk and have a place to put them, especially like if you're doing snow removal, where you got salt bags or whatever. Y'all seen Johnny Mo's videos where he's got all this salt and stuff piled up in his little garage with no space to even move. See, I don't like that kind of space, not if I'm making money out here. I want to, I don't want to be that confined, because it doesn't apply to me, but if I want to buy something in bulk, I can do that, and I have a place to put it, no matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. And you never know. I'm an entrepreneur, so if I found a deal on something that I felt like was a moneymaker for me, and all I had to do was buy bulk, put the product or whatever it is in my shop and sell it off little by little, then I got space to do that. If I ever stop doing the lawn maintenance, I could always use my shop as a mechanic shop to fix equipment for other people. Do that too. That's a benefit. It's not evident on billable hours right now, but that's something that I could very well easily do, because I could be a shady tree mechanic all day long. Especially when it comes to lawnmowers and stuff. I could have a small, I could have a small shop, or a small, not a shop, but a small repair shop right there. Plenty of space. You know, of course, I buy a couple mower lifts, but they don't cost that much. But it's not creating billable hours right now. It's not. Not to mention, if worse came to worse, I could rent it out to somebody else. You know, I mean, I could. There's big power up there. I mean, you could actually have a machine shop up there if you wanted to. You have to run a few more big boy plugs, but it's set up for that. I could definitely rent it out for storage if I wanted to. It's 1,200 square feet. It's pretty big. Go try to rent space. Go try to rent just an empty storage unit with 1,200 square feet. You're probably going to be at $1,600 around where I live at. And you're not going to have any, you know, you're not going to have, it's not going to be heated. It's not going to be cooled. It's not going to have spray foam. It's not going to have any of those things. My shop's even rigged for internet. I have to do that because of the security cameras and stuff, you know. And I like nice shit. What can I say? I like nice shit. So a lot of the stuff in the shop I can't even justify from a business standpoint. And you know, not that this applies to me at this moment, but according to Google, it can affect employee morale. Because if you got a good shop, then guys, and organized, then guys, I haven't seen it, but I'm sure I can see how it would apply. Then guys their morale's better about coming to work. You know, especially if they got their little area. I can do lean-tos on both sides of the shop if I wanted to. I could turn the shipping container into, I mean, there's just a lot of things that you could do. Of course, none of it is really making you money, right? I mean, I gotta say, well, it's not making you money that you can actually see, like the skid steer or a lawnmower. But it's definitely gonna be a time saver in every way. And when you're out here like me, and again, I'm speaking for me, when you're out here like I am, that's important, because saving time is the equivalent of saving money. And saving money in a business like mine is the same as making money. Because if I don't have to pay it out, that means I get to keep it. Okay, so I'm in the shop here. So I would ask guys, where would I put all this stuff? If I didn't have a shop, where would I put it all? Could y'all imagine me putting all this stuff in my garage, and how unorganized and unfriendly that would be? Think about that for a second. Look at all this stuff. There's simply not even enough. You know, another thing that I did not mention in the video in the truck is that I was renting a storage facility unit.
and things were in boxes and crates and stuff because I didn't have no space in my garage. I mean, where would I put all this stuff if I didn't have this building? You know, and so I'm saying the storage unit was costing me more than significantly, like more than twice as much in rent than the little payment on this building. When I built this building, I only took out $10,000 loan, and that was just to keep it was just no interest. So my payment is only like $260 or something like that. It's so minimal that I don't even know exactly what the payment is. It's under $300. But what would I do with all this stuff if I didn't have the building? Well, Ray, you don't need all that stuff. Well, okay. This is the 1 and 2 mower here. That's the first backup mower there, and then the other one is in the shipping container. Now I got a shipping container full of stuff too. And the shipping container is more for storage now. It is a storage. In my garage, after you put the mowers you're not even going to get the skid steer in the garage with the mowers. That's not even going to happen. You're not going to even get the machine in there. So you're certainly not going to get any of the attachments in there. Now, does that make me money? Well, I mean, does that create billable hours? Well, I can't say it does, because it doesn't. It does not. But without this space, all my weed eaters and stuff and all the stick equipment is in disarray. Without this space, I don't have any of this stuff. I buy blades in bulk. I buy oil in bulk. That saves me money when I do it like that. And of course, this shop is not as organized as I would want it to be yet. It's still a working. I would have never in the garage. I would have never saved these hydraulic lines. They don't leak. I want to keep them. So though the building here is not generating an hourly rate, it's saving me, God knows, frustration. And the older I get, the frustration becomes more apparent on stuff that I'm in control of. And I'm in control of what space I use for the shop, for the business. Now, if this building costs me $300,000, then that's a whole nother ball game. Now you got to reassess. But I'm not that guy that's gonna put lawnmowers out. And now I have. I hope hope I've evolved enough where I've got lawnmowers outside under a tarp. That'll work. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there is. I used to do it all the time, but most of the time it don't work out very well because the wind blows and the tarp is gone, and then you gotta untarp it and to use it, and there's water on the tarp. You get crap all over you. But that don't make dollars. I guess it don't make dollars, but it'll probably save you some money. Because when these mowers sit in the freezing cold, things start going wrong with them. The batteries start going dead. Okay, the batteries, I don't know what the batteries cost these days, probably about $80. The belts, y'all know the belts are expensive. And I'm not showing you guys anything I haven't showed you before out here.
So I got my groceries, man, so I'm driving back home. So, those are just some of the things that the shop, I feel like, has benefited me in so many ways. And I've touched on some, and some I'm probably not even thinking about. And of course, you got to look at what the shop costs you too. If if you're looking at risk versus reward, and some people, I mean, there's so many different ways you can look at it, and some people had rather spend their money on other things. Some people like Harleys and jet skis and boats and things that don't make you money. I'm the guy that'd rather have a shop than a Harley. I'm the guy that'd rather have a shop than a boat, or jet ski, or, so everything that we do in life doesn't have to create billable hours. I mean, I like nice shit, that's what I like, personally. But liking nice stuff don't actually, make you money. But the only way that I see that, well, it ain't the only way, but the main way the shop makes you money without making you money is it makes your life more convenient. It makes your business more organized, and it makes your business have a higher ceiling,